In the March 22nd attack, Russia unleashed more than 60 exploding drones and 90 missiles across Ukraine, the worst assault on the country's energy infrastructure since the full-scale invasion began in early 2022. The fusillade reflected Russia's renewed focus on striking Ukrainian energy facilities. The volume and accuracy of recent attacks have alarmed the country's defenders, who say Kremlin forces now have better intelligence and fresh tactics in their campaign to annihilate Ukraine's electrical grid and bring its economy to a halt. Moscow has also apparently learned how to exploit gaps in Ukrainian air defenses. With more assaults inevitable, officials are scrambling for ways to better defend the country's energy assets. The March 22nd attack, which left 1.9 million people without power, according to analysts, was among the most intense in Russia's springtime air campaign targeting civilian infrastructure. DTEK, Ukraine's largest private energy company, lost 80% of its power generation capacity in attacks on March 22nd and 29, the company said. Plants were destroyed across the country. Russia targeted transmission networks as well. The bombardment blacked out large parts of Ukraine, a level of darkness not seen since the first days of the full-scale invasion. The strikes also tested Ukraine's ability to make quick repairs. The Associated Press was given access to 2 DTK power plants damaged in the March 22nd attack on the condition that the names and locations of the facilities and the full names of workers not be mentioned due to security concerns. The AP was not permitted to provide technical details of damage, including the number of missiles that struck each plant or whether the plant could still function. After previous assaults, power station workers were able to restore service fairly quickly. But that became harder after March 22nd because of continuing strikes that prevent rebuilding. When the Russian barrage hit the Ukrainian power plant, a worker named Taras was manning the control panel, a crucial task that required him to stay as the air raid siren blared and his colleagues ran for safety. After the deafening explosions came a cloud of smoke, then darkness. Fires blazed and shrapnel pierced the roof of the huge complex, causing debris to rain down on workers. Following protocols, Taras shut down the coal-fired plant, his heart racing.
A few seconds of explosions, up to 10 seconds. Smoke, darkness, fire, everything falls on the head. The roof falls, one is injured. He just came out on the block. It was necessary to open one tool. He came out at an unfortunate moment. Unfortunately, we evacuated him. We have to be on our energy front line. You don't worry about it, because you just do your job and think that the most important thing is to return to your family, to your children with hope, with optimism. Of course, if the skies were protected, I would feel calmer for me to sit here and for my family at home.
Maxim Timchenko, the CEO of DTEK, inspected the grounds of one of the 2 power stations. Gazing up at the Titanic complex, his eyes rested on a gaping hole in the building's scorched facade. Inside, workers collected debris in wheelbarrows, their faces blackened by floating dust. Cranes removed giant shards of twisted metal and blocks of fallen concrete. In the dark bowels of the plant's interior, where an intricate network of large pipes connects to industrial boilers, the steel roof was so pockmarked with shrapnel, it resembled a starry night sky.
I've never seen in my life such a level of destruction for a power station. And unfortunately it's happened with us. Several weeks ago I said that the fact that winter is over, it doesn't mean that Russians stop attacking our civil infrastructure, because they're attacking civilians, they're attacking our life, they're attacking the way how we want to live. And of course, our duty is to do everything possible to restore our normal life.
He estimates that the company can restore half of the damaged units in 2 to 3 months. It's a Sisyphean task. Workers must repair damage over and over again. This particular plant was targeted late last year, and 1 unit was destroyed. Timchenko said DTEK planned to repair it by the end of this year. The Kharkiv region, which borders Russia and was the hardest hit, is still enduring power outages weeks later. On Thursday, drones struck the region's Zmivska power plant, plunging 350,000 people into the dark. During the agonizing wait for more strikes, Ukrainian officials are discussing how to better protect power generators. One solution may be decentralizing them by creating a network of small facilities that are harder to hit than large plants. But the timing of the attacks perplexed many observers. Russia usually reserves large-scale attacks on energy infrastructure for the peak winter months, when the demand for heat is highest. Russia, as expected, targeted energy infrastructure in the last 3 months of last year, when temperatures dropped below freezing. But the high-voltage grid was prepared to sustain the attacks, and damaged sites were quickly repaired. In December, Russia accepted that the old tactics were not working. As the winter months went by, Russia began concocting a new scheme. Once the targets were chosen, Russia swarmed them with missiles at an unprecedented scale. Before the March 22nd attacks, workers operated under the assumption that air defenses would take down 70% of air attacks.